What if London had a shadow? A city beneath the city, ruled by angels and monsters, where the rules of reality no longer apply. In a world where falling through the cracks means falling into something far stranger, one man stumbles into a conspiracy older than the city itself. Welcome to London Below. You may never look at the underground the same way again.
What's up, agents of the strange and extraordinary? Thorne Bishop here with Top Secret Inc., where we decode the stories that slip through the cracks. And today's dossier? It's a descent into a gothic wonderland. Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere, the graphic novel adaptation of his cult classic novel and BBC series. If you're into secret societies, talking rats, fallen angels, or the kind of urban fantasy that slaps you in the face with metaphor and myth, this one's going to pull you underground. Literally. This isn't your average city crawl. This is Alice in Wonderland with knives. And bad attitudes. Today we're diving deep into Vertigo's 2005 graphic novel series, adapted by writer Mike Carey and artist Glenn Fabry, to uncover every shadowy alley, sinister villain, and metaphor-soaked mystery. Let's crack open the case. So, our story kicks off with Richard Mayhew, a mild-mannered, painfully average office worker living in London above. He's got the kind of life that's just fine. But everything changes when he helps a wounded girl named Door. Literally a girl with the power to open anything. That one act of kindness derails his reality. Suddenly, Richard's erased from existence. His fiancée doesn't know him, his job's gone, and he's invisible to the city. Welcome to London Below, a hidden realm beneath the real world, teeming with bizarre characters, ancient pacts, and mythic creatures. The only way forward? Follow Door. Door's on a mission of her own. She's the last of a noble house, and her family was murdered by the sadistic assassins Krupp and Vandemar. With Richard in tow, and a rotating cast of otherworldly allies, including the Marquis de Carabas and the Deadly Hunter, they navigate a labyrinth of trials to uncover the truth behind the betrayal. As they pass through angelic cathedrals built inside train tunnels and cross bridges where lives are gambled, the team uncovers a conspiracy involving the fallen angel Islington, who's plotting to return to heaven at any cost. Spoiler alert, he's not the good guy. By the end, Richard is changed, literally and metaphorically. He chooses to return to London above, only to find it empty of meaning. His real self now belongs to the mystery, the magic, the madness of London Below. So he makes a choice. He steps back into the shadows, embracing a world he never asked for, but now can't live without.
Before we dive deeper into the mission, let's pull the files on the key players: heroes, villains, rogues, and wildcard operatives. This is the subject profiles. Richard Mayhew, the reluctant wanderer. A man who did one kind thing and was erased from the world. His transformation from invisible everyman to a decisive hero is the spine of the story. Lady Door, the key to everything. A young noble from a fallen house with the magical ability to open any door, literal or metaphorical. She's hunted for secrets, locked behind blood. The Marquis de Carabas, the trickster in a trench coat. A smooth-talking, untrustworthy fixer who seems to always be one step ahead, even when he's playing both sides. Hunter, the predator in human skin. A mythic warrior with a godlike presence and a hidden agenda. Her quiet rage is as deadly as her blade. Mr. Krupp and Mr. Vandemar, the executioners of etiquette. Polite, ancient, and utterly horrifying assassins who speak in riddles and kill with glee. They are the smiling face of chaos. Islington, fallen angel of stone. Once a celestial being, now imprisoned and corrupted. Their divine presence masks a devastating ambition. The Rat Speakers, the Forgotten Disciples, a society of humans who worship and communicate with rats, keepers of underground history and secrets.
Richard begins as the classic passive protagonist. But over the story's arc, we watch him transform from forgettable to formidable. He gains agency, faces fear, and chooses discomfort over numbness. It's a slow burn, but intentional, and totally worth it. Dor, meanwhile, is already a force of will. Her grief and survival instincts mask a vulnerability that makes her not just a magical girl trope, but a layered, emotionally intelligent powerhouse. The supporting cast? Every one of them feels like they walked out of myth and onto a subway car. Mike Carey's script captures Gaiman's dreamlike tone without feeling like a shadow of the novel. The dialogue is sharp, sly, and full of allegory, especially in how characters like the Marquis play verbal chess with every sentence. Glenn Fabry's art is raw, sometimes grotesque, and soaked in texture. You can practically smell the mildew of London Below. It's not always pretty, but it's always fitting. Think of it as visual grime poetry where filth meets fantasy.
They told us not to ask questions. They said the files were corrupted, the intel classified, the case closed. But we kept digging. Welcome to Black Box Theories, where the facts don't add up, the coincidences aren't random, and the truth buried under layers of denial. Strap in, agent. You're not supposed to hear this. Theory number 1. London Below is a living entity. Classification: plausible. The city beneath isn't just symbolic, it's sentient. The way it reacts to emotional trauma and warps around characters implies it's a psychic construct shaped by forgotten people's pain. Theory number 2. The Marquis has died before. Classification: highly probable. The Marquis' nonchalant attitude toward death, plus references to him owing and collecting debts from gods, suggests he's reincarnated, or something much older than human. Theory number 3. Krupp and Vandemar are demons of bureaucracy. Classification: speculative. Their Victorian speech, timelessness, and obsession with protocol hint that they're not just killers, they're metaphysical agents of stagnant systems meant to crush resistance. Theory number 4. Dor's family were reality architects. Classification: plausible. Their lineage and ability suggest they were not just gatekeepers, but world makers, possibly descendants of beings that built London Below as a failsafe for forgotten magic. Theory number 5. Islington's fall was engineered. Classification: shocking. What if Islington didn't fall from grace accidentally? Their exile might have been a strategic trap, either by heaven or a higher order, meant to contain its ambition in a liminal realm. Theory number 6. Richard will become the next Marquis. Classification: intriguing. At the end, Richard embraces the life between worlds. Given the Marquis' ambiguous nature, could the role be passed down? Richard might become the next manipulator of myth. Theory number 7. London Below exists in all major cities. Classification: confirmed in spirit. While Neverwhere focuses on London, the concept hints that every city has a below, a mirror realm built on forgotten people and abandoned truths.
London Below is one of the most creatively disturbing urban fantasy settings out there. It mirrors the city we know but warps it, turning tube stops into kingdoms and commuters into cults. The tone? Bleak whimsy. You never feel safe, but you're constantly intrigued. It's also unapologetically British, layered with regional slang, historical nods, and a class commentary that feels baked into the cobblestones. At its core, Neverwhere is about invisibility in regards to social, emotional, and existential context. Richard literally vanishes when he stops being useful to society. Dor's name isn't just a power, it's a metaphor for opening painful truths. You've also got deep themes of identity and choice. Every character is navigating power structures, whether divine, economic, or political, and questioning where they belong. There's a constant struggle between comfort and authenticity. Neverwhere fits into the post-90s wave of urban fantasy, but with the mythic density of Sandman and the grime of Trainspotting. It's a fairy tale for the disillusioned, a spiritual cousin to works like Hellblazer, American Gods, or the Books of Magic. Its BBC roots give it a very British flavor, but the comic format lets the mythos breathe, letting the visuals amplify what was once only hinted at on the screen. Compared to The Sandman, this book is tighter in scope but shares that same metaphysical weight and dream logic grounded in gritty emotion. If you liked Fables, you'll enjoy the mythic characters operating in modern cities. But Neverwhere leans more into dark surrealism. And if Hellboy is your jam, then the blend of occult horror, apocalyptic lore, and sarcastic charm will feel familiar. Though here it's more introspective than punch-heavy.
Some intel doesn't belong in the open. When a story gets too twisted, too dangerous, or just too damn weird, we file it under red. This is the Red Files, classified content, high-risk statistics, and the kind of secrets you don't unsee once exposed. Proceed with caution, Agent. Red File number 1. This graphic novel was based on a TV show. First, before it was a novel or comic, Neverwhere started as a 1996 BBC miniseries written by Neil Gaiman. Red File number 2, the floating market changes location constantly. In the story, the market appears in abandoned places throughout London below. Its inconsistency reflects how the underworld lives by no map. Red File number 3. The Marquis was inspired by trickster gods. Gaiman cited figures like Anansi and Loki when writing the character, explaining his chaotic, neutral, deal-making energy. Red File number 6. Glenn Fabry also illustrated Preacher covers. The artist behind Neverwhere's intense visuals was also the main cover artist for Vertigo's Preacher, known for grotesque realism. Red File number 5. Door's power may not be limited to space. While she opens physical doors, there are hints that her ability also applies to metaphysical doors, including time and memory. Red File number 6. The angel Islington is gender neutral. In the comic, Islington's gender is ambiguous, emphasizing their ethereal divine origin beyond human constructs. Red File number 7. The rat speakers have a patron saint. Saint Felicia, according to extended lore. The rat speakers revere a figure called Saint Felicia, who first heard the voices of the rats.
All right, agents, intel has been gathered, dossiers reviewed, and it's time to declassify the best of the best. Welcome to the awards segment, where we spotlight the operatives, wild cards, and game-changing moments that made this mission unforgettable. Let's hand out some top secret honors. Top Operative Award goes to the Marquis de Carabas. He steals every scene like he's getting paid in swagger. The Marquis is smooth, dangerous, and utterly unreadable. An agent of chaos with his own moral code. He's the character you want more of, even when you know he's probably manipulating the plot for his own gain. Dark Horse Award goes to Hunter, a mysterious warrior with a tragic past and a terrifying presence. At first, she feels like a bodyguard archetype, but her final decisions cut deep. She's not just muscle, she's myth, wrapped in regret. Spyglass Sequence Award goes to the trial at the floating market. This is where everything sharpens. The market built on top of a disused train station, the surreal bartering, the emotional breakdowns. It's where Richard truly begins to see the stakes. It's part dream, part nightmare, and 100% unforgettable. Neverwhere's graphic novel was a hit with Gaiman loyalists, even if it flew under the mainstream radar. Critics praised its faithfulness and praised Fabry's raw visuals, even if some readers found the art a bit too muddy for their taste. Its legacy? It's now considered a hidden gem in Vertigo's catalog. Not quite Sandman famous, but a cult classic that still inspires adaptations and fan theories about the nature of cities, souls, and the people who fall between them. All right, agents, time to debrief. Strengths? You've got unforgettable characters, a world soaked in dark magic, and a plot that keeps twisting without losing its emotional spine. The themes hit hard, and the dialogue is sharp enough to leave paper cuts. Weaknesses? Some readers might find the art style rough or even jarring. And Richard, for all his growth, takes a bit too long to stop being passive. It's not a fast read, but it is a rich one. This book is perfect for fans of layered fantasy, urban myths, and character-driven stories that make you question what's real. If you want something action-heavy, this might test your patience. But if you're into deep cuts, you're gonna love it. Final score? 8.7 out of 10. Neverwhere doesn't scream, it whispers. But what it says stays with you. If this journey into London below left you just as haunted as it did me, drop your theories, favorite moments, and wildest interpretations in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next transmission from the underground. And remember, the cracks in the city aren't flaws, they're doors. Welcome to Top Secret Inc., where hidden truths aren't just exposed, they're invited in.